Nobody deceives like an addict.
About a month after his previous letter and shortly before his release from prison, Don Wells, Summer Wells' father, is at it again, writing letters. He announced that we should expect another letter, and apparently there will be another after this, addressed to Summer as well. Now, I don't want to deal with the merits of the letter itself. I'll place it here for you guys to read. And other than that, I want to highlight how he emphasizes that Candace and himself don't have work and can't work and could lose everything. It makes you wonder, is this really directed at kidnappers, or is it just a ploy directed at us? And if so, for what? Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. So, the idea that Don might be released from prison soon, that seems to be coming from their website. He was sentenced in February to 11 months in prison, which would suggest that he should be released at the end of the year, around about December. But it's also possible that he's being released early on something like good behavior. We don't know that for a fact. Just from the language, it sounds like he might be being released earlier. So one thing that I do think is interesting is the motive behind the letter. Not the letter itself, what's the motive around it? I think the wider context is that since June 23rd at least, the media's been reporting about the fate of $74,000 in reward money raised to help find Summer Wells. And obviously, more than a year later, Summer hasn't been found, and so the question is, well, if Summer's not found, what does one do with the $74,000? And within this context, Don has been writing letters saying, I can't get a job, we've lost everything. The Church Hill Rescue Squad is overseeing the fund, who have now handed it over to a local court. So they basically said, we are giving the money away to the court and let the court decide what's best, right? Again, within this context, Don is writing letter after letter after letter and also letting us know more letters are on the way. He's also addressing the media when he writes his letters saying, share far and wide kind of thing. And this is the same Don who seemed to be a little bit negative towards YouTube and what YouTube says and what YouTube does. And YouTube is being kind of a threat to his property and the reason why the boys were taken away. Do you remember that? Now, I think the Wells family would be delighted to get their paws on the money, and one can only imagine what they'd do with it if they did. According to WJHL, quote, the Wells family media manager sent a statement on behalf of Don Wells to News Channel 11 regarding Coob's statement on the fund's future. That is someone affiliated with the Church Hill Rescue Squad, those maintaining that reward money. And so this was the statement from Don Wells' media manager. This is important to keep the reward fund. This is our daughter. People gave money for Summer to help. The case is still very active. Don't take this away from her, the statement said. Now, I think the words from that statement are quite interesting and quite worth bearing in mind. The words, keep the reward fund and don't take this from somebody, right? Do you notice that Don is the one with the media manager making statements and writing letters, even though he's in jail? Candace isn't saying anything. Grandma isn't saying anything. Don is sort of stepping forward. Well, if he plays his cards right, who knows, maybe the $74,000 will land in his lap shortly after leaving prison. Do you think that would be the correct outcome here? Where do you think the money should go? I would suggest it be put in a trust with some kind of guardian to look after Summer's brothers. So I'm not going to take it further than that. In terms of Don's YouTube channel, there are 2 videos there worth a gander. I'll put links to those videos in the description, and so you can check them out. One of them has drone footage of the home and property, so obviously aerial views of the home, but in particular it shows that corridor where the trees have been removed, I guess to make place for power lines or something. But it shows just how directly the chalet wells and the shack at the bottom are connected, and it's really not a long way between the 2 points, right? So that's the first thing I think to check out, to orient yourself on. And then the other one is Grandma's trailer. There's a video just showing the view from the trailer. And one thing that I could help thinking, just looking at that, is just the contrivance of the story, which is when Summer goes missing, where is everybody? And so it's a situation where the adults aren't even in the Wells home. So the adults, Grandma and Candace, are sort of outside at Grandma's trailer, and they're busy with whatever they're doing, but they're basically not inside the home. And then Summer goes inside the home, and you sort of have the situation where Summer is being supervised but not being supervised. In other words, her parents are there, her mother and her grandmother are there but not there, and her brothers are there looking after her but not looking after her. You have this sort of grey area scenario, don't you? Now, I don't believe that is where Summer disappeared or where something happened to Summer. I don't think it happened inside the house, and I don't think it happened at the Wells property. But I do think there's something accurate in this idea of being there but not being there. And think about that in the context of a swimming hole where Summer's not able to swim. You're there, you are supervising, you are in the area, but maybe you're not paying direct attention in the way that you should be. And within that situation, and also there are other youngsters, and instead of them being the Wells children, I think it's another youngster who is sort of not really his job to look after Summer, but there might be an impression that he might be doing that, right? And within that situation, something happens to Summer. She either disappears or she comes to some kind of harm. I just think that the contrivance of the trailer and is a parallel, is a mirror, is a psychological mirror for what I believe likely happened at the swimming hole. Food for thought. I'm going to end this video by providing both letters that we've received back to back for you guys to read. Also, if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. You can also hit the thanks button if you're enjoying the content here. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.